Hey everybody, Casmo here, and in the interest of doing something different on the channel, I thought I would, I don't know, bring some real life to the channel. And I was actually going through some old videos last night and came across some stuff from way back yesteryear, 2004 time frame. It was a video that I actually made while I was in flight school. It was like our graduation video for my flight, which we were learning OH-58 deltas. And so I wanted to share it, and we'll just kind of explore it. So it was played to some music, some Foo Fighters, but of course if I play that, I'll get dinged. So we'll just take a look at the video, and I'll kind of talk through some of the things that you're seeing, and I'll give you some insight into old school flight school. I say old school, early 2000s flight school, and some wild stuff that we did that I don't think they did much anymore, and I certainly don't think they still do. So we'll take a look. All right, so first thing we're looking at here is an 180 auto. So essentially what's happening is the aircraft is about, I want to say like 1,000, 1,200 feet. I can't remember exactly what altitude we were at. Heading away from the runway. The runway's kind of off to your side, whichever side. Sort of traffic pattern. And yeah, rolling the throttle to idle and executing an auto rotation. So you immediately having to get in an auto rotational profile, you know, get the nose down, get your speed up if you needed to have some speed. Keep the rotor spinning, keep that airflow going up through there, but also executing a coordinated turn to keep everything where it needs to be and get you lined up on the runway. And some of these were pretty squirrely because some instructor pilots like to get you a little bit, closer to the runway. In fact, I remember one of them I flew with, it was basically his last day flying because he was getting ready to leave for the Coast Guard. And I'm pretty sure we executed directly over the runway. He was doing it, and we spun around. And I remember looking up through the top of the aircraft and seeing the end of the runway. So we were pretty nose low. I'm pretty sure we were outside the standards. But we executed the maneuver properly. At that point, once you get turned around back onto lane alignment, then it's a normal auto rotation, you know, decelerate everything as you need to. All right, so this next one's real fun. This is a low level auto. So the idea being that you're about 100 feet, you know, airspeed up about 90 knots, and same deal as if you lost your engine. So what we're doing here is, and I remember it being sort of executed all together, is, you know, lowering the collective, reducing the throttle to idle, you know, putting in the commensurate amount of pedal that you needed to based on how quickly you're putting the collective down, and executing an auto rotation. So almost as if you've skipped all of the auto rotation part, and then you're getting right to the flare. You know, you don't want to yank too hard back on the cyclic. You bring too much airflow into the rotor system. You could overspeed it. So you had to be careful with your collective if you did pull too much cyclic. But those were a lot of fun. We didn't do those once we got to the unit level. This was really, all of this was stuff that we did only at flight school, which was unfortunate. Even though when I took my pilot and command ride in Iraq, we did a 180 auto, which I hadn't done since flight school, and nobody was really doing in the unit. So I was shocked that we were doing it. So this next one is an oh my god moment. But these were a lot of fun. So this was a stuck pedal, and essentially what happens is you would be doing a normal traffic pattern, and of course the instructor pilot would tell you that we're going to do it. He didn't want to surprise you with this, but as you were coming in kind of base to final, he would jam one of the pedals. I think in this video we're jamming the left pedal, obviously, and you would have to fly the aircraft with no pedal authority whatsoever. So essentially what you're seeing in the video is keeping the airspeed up, because that's the only way you're going to maintain any directional control at this point. The only thing you've got going for you is the tail, the vertical tail fin, which can only offload so much. So you're keeping your speed up as fast as you can. And then when you get down towards the runway, what you're doing is essentially reducing the throttle, which is reducing the torque demand on the aircraft, which is reducing the rate of yaw into the fuselage. So it's this very strange sort of timing, and it looks very hairy. It's definitely something I think they stopped doing a couple of years after we went through, but Yeah, it's this great timing maneuver of rolling the throttle and just trying to reduce the throttle enough to keep the aircraft in the air, but also get some more directional authority, get lane alignment, and then grease it onto the skids. All right, I'll apologize in advance that some of this video is absolutely messy, and it was 2004. We didn't have the greatest cameras back then. And whoever was filming this, which was not me, really liked to do a lot of zooming, I think, zooming in on stuff. So things are going to get a little bit funky. But here we're doing the gunnery training out at Molinelli Range, and you can see that we're practicing our bumps. So essentially, keeping the aircraft fast, 90. Well, I think 90 knots was the limit with the doors off. So, or was it 110? I can't remember. It's been a really long time. But you're keeping your speed up as best you can. And then when you get a few hundred meters from the target, you're going to pull back to a cyclic climb. Not yanking back. Once again, you're not going to yank the cyclic. We're going to pull the cyclic back gently and get that good, say 25, 30 degree nose high attitude. Climb a few hundred feet. So you're trading airspeed for altitude. And then you're going to nose it over. Not too hard, because then you get into like a negative G state. You're just going to ease the aircraft over, nose it over on a target, and now you're going to trade that altitude back into airspeed, but you're also going to have a better angle on the target. So you're going to have that beaten zone, as they call it. So it's going to be, you're going to have a tighter shot group, essentially, on the target. So nosing it over, and then you can see that we're engaging with 50 caliber on the left side, and then some rockets on the right. I love to tell the story that my very first rocket I ever shot hit dead on the target, and I remember feeling pretty smug about myself and pulling off the target. Just shot one rocket and just pulled off the target because I hit it. And the instructor pilot looked over at me and he said, "Do that again." So yeah, came back around, shot my next rocket. It was a complete miss. So he felt better after that, knew that it was just sort of a one-off situation. But that was a couple weeks of training, just going out there and just shooting. And then I think they even let our families come out one day and they could watch us shoot. So that's kind of all we did. And then just a little bit of MMS footage here. You can see a very bad shot. Rocket was very, very short. But the thing about rockets and the thing about 50 cal, they're area effect weapons. You're just trying to get them close into the target because of the effects, right? So a rocket is really just, an artillery round, essentially. So there's going to be, fragmentation and things like that. So that's really what you're going after. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was fun for me to go back and watch it. And yeah, maybe learn something. If you like it, hit like. If you haven't subscribed, you can do that too. Thanks for watching.